Hello everybody, I'm Cyril Drago1 and I'm excited to announce that I finally finished the game Remother Tormented Fathers, and this video is a way to celebrate this game. This video contains spoilers, so I advise you that the video describes the storyline of Remothered and also analyze the ending. So if you have not played the game, you should watch another video. At the beginning, Jennifer Richardine Felton was the daughter and only child of a man who wanted a son instead. The father went off to fight in Mussolini's conquest of Italy in the 1920s, but when he came back, he was very shell-shocked, and that probably translated to him desiring a son even more. So he forced Jennifer to become a boy by overdosing her with testosterone and phenoxyl to change her and make her forget who she was originally. Eventually, Jennifer became Richard, but her original identity persisted in the back of her mind and became the psychotic split personality that tries to kill us years later. Richard caught a mysterious disease in Egypt in 1958, a parasitic plague that weakened his body, aged him prematurely, and damaged his eyesight over time. Sometime later, he met Arianna Gallo, heiress to Rosso Gallo, and their parents organized an arranged marriage, but it was very strained, since Arianna knew the truth about Richard being biologically female. Celeste was later adopted. However, we have no info about her biological parents or whether something supernatural is connected to her, and Richard and Arianna had something to bond over. Gloria and Rosemary Reed were red nuns of Cristo Morente, or Rosemary might have been a novice at the time. Gloria's parents were major shareholders and financial backers to Rosso Gallo, and she and her sisters worked as harvesters on Rosso Gallo's plantation. Strange moths had a strange effect on Richard with his illness, and the Feltons, along with Wyman, conducted experiments to synthesize the disease with the moths and phenoxyl and spread it to nuns as test subjects for the second, stronger prototype of the drug. However, it only resulted in the sisters becoming very sick and gaining the ability to control the moths, as well as have increased bone density and regenerative abilities. This is why Richard, Jennifer, and Gloria can take and recover from so much damage. The nuns, thanks to their fanaticism, and due to the Feltons and Wyman telling them their disease and abilities were a gift from God, they planned to go out and spread the plague to the masses. But Rosemary, perhaps from not being affected so badly, set the convent, the entire plantation, and the wing of the Ashman Palace on fire by pouring inflammable liquid into the irrigation system and the convent's piping to prevent that from happening. And then it seems she took a lot of phenoxyl to forget everything. Where Celeste is concerned, she is a physical doppelganger of the original Jennifer, aka Richard's birth name and identity. As she grew older, she became to represent to Richard's broken mind what she or he could have had and could have been if Felton Sr. had not forced his child to become another gender. It became too much for him to handle, and so Richard started projecting his former identity and pain onto Celeste, calling her Jennifer. Ariane encouraged her daughter to run away from what's happening, and Celeste was implied to have left for other reasons, one of which is to find out about her biological parents. However, she came back home 2 years later because she missed Richard and Ariane so much. Gloria survived the fire, sought revenge against Felton, and followed Celeste at home, then manipulated the situation to her advantage and convinced Richard through drugs and mesmerism that Celeste was Jennifer and was the cause of all his pain, and so he had to kill her to be free of his torment. But he wound up killing Ariane instead. Celeste had managed to escape again and went God knows where, but the ending is Rosemary found a bag that had a tag called Flemish Institute that was likely Celeste's school, boarding or otherwise, and what the bag contains is unknown, but the institute is where Rosemary is likely to go next. The two characters in the very beginning and at the end are Madame Zvezka and Mr. Money. Money appears to maybe be a reporter or a journalist of some kind, whereas Zvezka is the one telling the story, and it's hinted that she is an elderly Rosemary or Celeste who's recounting the events of the Remothered trilogy. I hope that this video could like you, and I tried to explain the Remothered storyline. I decided to do this video because I consider that it could be more original than other videos about Remothered that are reviews or gameplays. So I decided to create a lore, an analysis about the story, the characters, and the symbolism of the game.